connected.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 3 of the Batty Overwatch League. This is your pregame show with myself, UTech, and my new co-host, who's cordially announced himself, Hook Resets. How's it going, Hook Resets?
Well, I'm doing quite well. My phone was just vibrating the sound of the SBL stream starting, so I
And
am really excited.
there you go. The SBL stream has started, and we are moments away from the first game in week 3. So I know the first question in all our minds is, where is our beloved Albino Joe? Well, he couldn't make it today. He has an apartment showing, and he has to hide away from his computer. But he'll be back. He'll be in game 1, and we'll go through that matchup. But first, big news, Hook Reset. Big news indeed. There are some patch changes.
What do those patch changes say?
So, the big ban hammer from Big Papa Jeff Kaplan came down, and he banned Mercy and Junkrat. Mercy, getting that extra res taken away, no longer is it instant, and reducing the speed and the time of your Valkyrie. So, a big nerf in the fact that she's no longer really broken.
Thank God. That really is like. I feel everyone expected this. As soon as we saw in the PTR, a lot of people I talked to, they're like, "No, he's gonna leave that exactly as it is, and she's gonna be a lot weaker. You don't actually have to pick her in every single situation ever, which is nice. So I don't think that she will really permanently fall out. Her ulti, when I very first saw it, I just thought, so I see it in Orisa ult. I see literally like, it looks like there are 3 different ultis in one. The resurrections, damage boost, healing, pretty much anything you can want. Mobility, freaking flying, and now it's
I
been
will definitely
reduced.
say that my biggest gripe with that entire ultimate was the ability to free fly, just because it made it so that you have vertical mobility everywhere. You're just basically a camera from the spectator client flying everywhere with a pistol. That
Yeah.
that shouldn't be in a first person shooter game. That should be for when you're spectating one, but not in an actual game. And I still dislike it for that, but now that they've basically decided to go along the route of, hey, we're gonna just nerf the amount of reses you have. Now it's just kind of like all right, I'm still a heal bot, but you're just gonna see me in pharmacy combos now.
Yeah, and the second res being gone, I really think is the biggest change of all things. You don't just have a free free 2 people coming up after dying. It's not going to be an ulti that you lose a couple people, then you pop it. You need to pop this at the beginning, maybe while they're ulting, just to keep everyone alive. It's going to be much more Zenyatta E, but you're killable. It's I think the damage boost is like the only thing that really makes it a little bit better than Zenyatta, just because you can roll fights a little bit quicker. But
I don't know. I mean,
in general,
I
not
had
as good.
I had an idea. I had an idea for what they could have done to change it around, and I think you could have had a little bit of the best of both worlds, where it'd be balanced, but it'd be a trade-off. So whenever you'd only have your res in ult form, but then now that it's 15 seconds, every time you res someone, maybe it's not instant, maybe it's like 0.5 cast time, so you still have to be where the person is for a short period of time. But every time you use it, you lose 5 seconds of your ultimate. So what do you decide? Do you res someone, or do you heal your team?
It'd be interesting. I know a lot of people that I've read on Reddit and stuff are saying that it should be something more earned than just being able to get it for free. Maybe like
Oh yeah,
have
on
a
a
charge up
charge.
time.
Yeah, I think that would also be a great idea. But I mean, I think biggest takeaway we're gonna see, especially affecting this league, is all those mercy mains. Not gonna be so much mercy mains anymore.
Yeah, this is definitely going to show up. I think a lot of teams actually, well, I think about half the teams are going to benefit, and half of them are going to cry out in despair, and still probably run Mercy. But we'll see how it pulls out. I'm really excited.
I still think Mercy will still be doing just fine if you're able to get value out of her without having to utilize ults all the time. Still very
Yeah,
slippery. Still, you have that resurrection on a 30-second cooldown. So it's if you get picked up by a sniper in a safe spot, well then, oh hey, guess what? You're back in the team.
yeah. I'm
So
just glad it does open the room a little bit more for Ana play, which has not really been seen, but by maybe anyone but Dano. So a
I
little bit
I
more of
don't
that
think
would
we're
be
gonna see
nice.
too much more Ana just because now that we have Moira and she's able to do pretty much the same thing that Anna is able to do, besides the anti-nade, but just for main healing, just that ability there to be a bit more agile. I think it'll be I don't think that'll be what more people will run in the meta, but who knows?
Okay.
Who knows?
I
But
do think that the anti-healing is the main thing, the main reason
oh yeah,
he might come
of
back, but
course.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean if I guess if quad tank becomes a thing, you'd want Anna to just do anti-healing.
Mhm.
But the other person that we want to talk about is Junkrat, and his mind now has a damage drop off.
Yeah, this is actually a very different approach than I think most people were thinking of when looking at Junkrat. A what a lot of people hate is just the fact that left click and then shift and you're dead. It any like as a Genji main, as flank players, it's the worst thing just to run into Junkrat. It's either that or it's literally just being hit while he's not even aiming for you. He's just shooting up in the sky. But what this basically does is it limits a lot of the worst Junkrat players, I'd say. I think the people who like Junkrat and who are good at him will still find success, but it definitely makes it harder for people who just spam and then hope. The pray and spray,
And
pray and
I
pray.
I I definitely agree with that because you want to see people at the top in that high skill level of play able to perform, able to climb, and the people that need to, learn a few more things, go through those growing pains so that, when they do get those frags, people know that they earned them. They didn't
Yeah.
just, toss out a mine willy-nilly
Mm.
at a kill, but then
Yeah.
again, it's all about getting that 20-second rip tire and then, killing the entire team and
Forcing
try to
resets.
forcing reset. Oh, and especially with the Mercy nerf, trying not to go back to that. But resets are going to be a much bigger thing. Team fights won't be as prolonged, so you're gonna see that scrambling to try to get together, and it's gonna be kind of back to season 5 tactics.
Yeah. I think something that would might be able to or something that Mercy really was able to bring back was more hit scan. Hit scan just getting damage boosted was a pretty huge thing that her being nerfed means we'll probably see a little bit less of that, especially in the pro scene, I'd say. But probably not the baddie league. But in the pro scene, I think dive comp might make a slight resurgence with her being gone.
In before, Mercy was the linchpin that made the game balanced.
It might be true. All the complaining we've been doing for the past like how long has it been? Over
uh,
100 days.
over 100 days, so 3 months, 3.5 months. It was since May.
Uh, I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, it would be very likely that she was stopping dive from becoming crazy
Yeah,
strong
way
like it
too
was.
powerful. Well, anyway, enough about patch changes. Let's talk about the league. We know that as those patch changes are gonna affect everything. Let's talk about the standings for the past 2 weeks that we have had. And so far on top, we have Mercy Nerf Me Daddy with 5 total points, 5 map wins. And they seem very strong.
Yeah, I think a little bit surprising to me. Just I didn't I definitely underestimated how good Ninja plays would work with 30. I think them two have really been working well off of each other. And one of the names I wanted to mention in particular was actually Spooby Koopa. He's really impressed me with a lot of his diva play, honestly. It's just been
He's been getting so many plays of the games,
so
hasn't
many
he? He's just
plays.
like, and every time you see them, it's just like all of a sudden out of nowhere, like 4, 5, 6 kills, or 4, 5, 6K on the board, and you're just like, how does he get these? Is the enemy team just that daft to know to look up and be like, all right, there's a diva bomb coming at me. Maybe I should get out of the way.
Yeah, it probably a little bit 50-50. I think he definitely has had good placement, but there has been moments I think where people maybe in the heat of the fight just don't hear it or don't see it. But
Well, they will be going up against Jeff from the no wait, nope, I'm looking at the wrong one. They will be actually. Nope, I am looking at the right one. Jeff from the
oh,
Overwatch team in game two, and if we know anything, they are currently in
oh
last place with 2 ties, I believe. So going all the way to the bottom, Jeff from the Overwatch team, and that their star player Josh Danko is the bread and butter that they got there.
yeah, I think Josh is really going to need to step up for this team to work well. I think one of the players who I'd like to see a little bit more out of is Kappen. He is definitely a star player in my eyes. I regard him as a really good projectile player, and I think he's been bringing a lot of different heroes, if I remember correctly. Played a bit of McCree, a bit of Soldier as well. So he's definitely needs to step up for this team to succeed or to take maps.
And I know they do have Scotchonaut who loves to play that Reinhardt, so and Danko loves himself some Zarya, so if they have the chance to play that combo very effectively on Lijiang Tower in this week's maps rotation.
I'm finally excited. We're finally gonna get a control map after a couple weeks.
It only
This
took
is
3 weeks to finally get that in,
yeah. But
but
on the other side, actually, I wanted to mention two payload maps, which really surprises me. I don't really understand um the point of playing two of the same game mode, but it is as it is. We'll be playing
sometimes that's just what you got
yeah,
to go with.
Route 66 and Junkertown. That's the maps.
So, going down the list again, although we kind of went out of order already, Blabby's Dabs has 4.5 wins, almost tying Mercy Nerf Me Daddy, but tying in their last game against Easy Clap. Um, they've really shown a lot of strengths in their star players as well, coming in from Senpai. So Senpai, I hope he has a fan club. Hope he has his own harem. And I hope they notice him and send him some pie.
True.
Um,
Definitely deserves it after these couple weeks. And
yeah, he's definitely done a fantastic job playing McCree just on hit scan in general, able to get anything he wants as long as he was basically uncontested that entire last week. So give him the space, and oh man, can he perform?
with tank like I think it's just Destructive D and Thor are the tanks for that team.
Yeah,
Uh
destructive dude doing a fantastic job on that Winston, able to get those dives off. Playing the main tank. Thor, very much picking it up on the off tank position, and what is it? And Huckletune especially, and Huckletune playing the Mercy he did not want to play, and now he can finally continuously play Moira, and also Sword and Mace playing that Lucio, getting that speed in for everybody. Just a fantastic showing for all of them. They should be very proud of themselves.
and I think they can only really get better. The sky's the limit for this team.
And all right, in third place we have Clap with 3.5 wins, taking quite a few losses comparative to their easy clap of a week in week one with the 3-0. Um, definitely a surprise to everyone, or at least to me. I was there, Cal. I was
You felt
there.
the pain.
I felt the pain because a lot of those games were very close, but you know what? The Blabby's Dabs came out on top, and well, they beat Easy Clap.
Yeah, we can't say just from that one game, Easy Clap is definitely a worse team than Blabby's Dabs, but Blabby's Dabs definitely has been showing that they're finals contenders, in my opinion. I think that your the Easy Clap can definitely grow a little bit more. Your main strengths has been No Wonder and you just definitely making space for Heron. Um, Heron kind of went a little bit uncontested, especially with week one. However, if people can shut down No Wonder, then it's kind of like doing one job at a time, and that's not an easy thing to do. So I don't think
Well,
your team's done.
oh yeah, not going where they can. So then, in fourth place we have Waifu Superstar 2, and they've had a very solid showing. Kind of hot or not, Tree being the main fragger on that team, seeing a lot of plays of the game out of him. Just out of nowhere, it's his tires, his rocket barrages, just are able to clean house.
If there was any team that I would expect to have the most synergy starting off, it'd be this team. All of them really, except maybe Spagooter, have played with each other several times. They might be a little bit lower on SR, but in Overwatch, synergy is one of um the biggest things you need to succeed.
Oh yeah, and you gotta love the memes that they're most likely generating in comms.
For sure.
Just all the things that are happening. And then finally, we have in fifth place. I know we sixth place is Jeff from the Overwatch team. We already went over them, but easy or not easy clap. Tide Pod Challengers, your team over there, which you guys have had a bit of success.
A little
Not
bit.
not too much, but a little bit. Or at least we're able to eke out a victory, at least one victory, and then a half victory.
I
So,
yeah.
so
uh
definitely, yeah. What do you want to say about your team and justify everything?
okay. So to justify things real quick. First off, I'm garbage. Uh that's the
Shouldn't
main thing we're
shouldn't have gone
realizing
for
here.
$7 confirmed.
Shouldn't have gone for too much money. I think that one of my main issues is I did come back from uh well, I would call a break. I only was able to play on a laptop for a good while, a month. Though that's my excuse. It's not a valid excuse. But I feel I'll definitely get better as we go on. Right now, we're playing pretty much off of Ball Sexy's back. I've never played with the guy too much before, but he's impressed me. The dude's insane at everything he does.
Yeah, definitely being one of the more surprise picks in my eyes, since he was first off a Roadhog main, and then after they nerfed that, they kind of neutered his play style. But now that they kind of brought him back in a good way, and he's able to just bring the frags, I think he's definitely been having a great showing. And you know what? I'm gonna wish you guys the best of luck.
Thank you. Oh,
So
we're actually against you. I forgot.
yep. So before I kick it off to the plays of the game, I'm gonna give you guys a rundown on the maps for the night. And so we are going to be running Junkertown, Route 66, and Lijiang Tower as our maps rotations. And for game one, we have Tide Pod Challengers versus Easy Clap. For game two, we're going to have Mercy Nerf Me Daddy versus Jeff from the Overwatch team. And for those late night peoples, we have Waifu Superstar 2, Senpai's Literature Club versus Blabby's Dabs. So without further ado, we're gonna play some plays of the game from last week, and we'll be starting soon.
Enjoy.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Team Swain Baddie Overwatch League Week 3 opening tonight. We are coming at you with the 0-2 Tide Pod Challengers against the 1-1 Easy Clap. As always, I'm AJS0, opening tonight with 30. 30, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. A pretty exciting night, once again, of Baddie Overwatch League, and I'm excited to see these two teams clash.
Yeah, it is a brand new Overwatch. Maybe the newest it's been since the day the game came out, as sadly, someone near and dear to me was taken from me this morning. Mercy. She's dead.
Begone, Moth!
The moth has begun. And yeah, I'm excited from a Batting League perspective to see how drastically this is going to change the games, because as expected, every team in the league has had near 100% uptime on that Mercy pick. And tonight we're going to get to see our first look at how teams are going to adapt to that. And I know I touched on this a bit in Power Rankings today, but fortunately for both these teams, they'll get a nice chance to ease into things as we're opening on Lijiang Tower here, our first King of the Hill of the season. And traditionally, not a great game mode for Mercy anyways. So
Yeah, I wouldn't. Like going off your point, I am very intrigued on what these teams want to do with Mercy. I mean, I've already been watching the high Grandmaster streams. I think really the Grandmasters just don't want to play her, so it's like a gentleman's agreement to just not play her there. But she actually is still okay, as much as I hate to say that. You just have to be a lot more careful with her now. You don't have those instant reses, and you don't even get that second one during Valkyrie. It is nowhere near as strong. But yeah, like you said, on Control, I wouldn't really expect to see a lot of it here. We're going to see our boy Lucio, but it looks like Albino Joe on Easy Clap bringing it out, start it off.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely... I wouldn't be shocked to see it here. Crystallized as well. He's been... These two guys, since the start of Season 3 of the BOL, have been pretty much permanently playing Mercy, so we'll see in a moment here if we're getting invaded by these swaps or not. But looking at some of the rest of the teams, Shooter Guy playing something kind of new. He's on the Winston, going with Utek on the Diva. So they're going pretty divey Pharah on the side of Easy Clap. Meanwhile, Crystallize going to be on the Ana.
Yeah, interesting. A much slower composition out of Tide Pod Challengers. Jim on his signature Reinhardt pick here. But yeah, it's just a standard pharmacy dive for Easy Clap.
Yeah, and they are just getting rained on from the back end by Farah. Herod's Pharah, as they're going to be collapsed on all sides here, but not doing it well, as they've already given up 2 kills fast. As long as a DMAC, Albino Joe does get a res off, but that might have just been a waste. I think we're going to just die at this point here. It's a good start for Tide Pod Challenges.
Yeah, really strong, and they decided they weren't really even gonna fight Easy Clap. They just speed onto the point and get that positioning, and they all group up around that Reinhardt shield, take out people one by one.
Yeah, now they are holding this point about as far back as you can, content to just stay on the point here, as they almost all have their London Spitfire skins on.
Oh my god, T-Mick, look, he did some work on this Lucio. He was at 74% ult charge compared to Mighty Wolf's 19. So we expect the sound barrier possibly coming out this fight as both teams clash.
No wonder did whip a Tracer Bomb in the back, but he's already building that charger very fast with a DMAC out of UTAC. But T-Mick goes down before he's going to get the chance. No, he popped the sound barrier there.
Oh, supports are down for Tide Pod, so they have no more heals. But Roadhog actually has that self heal. Looks like they're sticking together, and it's a big old meat battle on the point. Batmel, D-Mech, Baby Diva goes down. It's the 2v2.
Yeah, but Hook Resets is coming in on the back. He's putting the damage on UTEC, who barely has that mech back. But he's going to finally pop the self-destruct. Jim's able to block it for himself, as both these teams are reestablishing on the points. But Tide Pod Challengers is getting a ton of charge during all this.
Yeah, and they still have control of the point. It's already up to 60%, so these stall tactics are working for them. They got their supports back right away. Lucio was speed boosting Crystallized Xana all the way there, and it looks like, yeah, they're going to hold it again.
Yeah, now we're looking at just one fight remaining, and there's a huge ult economy advantage for TPC. They've got 4 available. T-Mick at 70 might get it in this last fight. Meanwhile, it's just no wonder with the Tracer Bomb. Albino Joe with a Valkyrie for Easy Clap heading into this fight, as they're going to get a pick on a ball as sexy. This fight being played up very deep here around the corner with a 1-for-1 DPS trade early. Jim content to play this one out super deep, going for the pin. but he's gonna die in the process. Maybe Tide Pod Challengers playing this one deeper than they had to, as Albino Joe's now popping his Valkyrie and coming towards this point. T-Mic adding his ult on top of it. This is both the healers down for the Tide Pod Challengers, and looking good for Easy Clap.
Yeah, and they actually popped pretty much all the ultimates they had there for Tide Pod. T-Mic is at that 99%, so he should be getting the sound barrier back. But yeah, he's not even in the fight. It looks like it's going to be the first team fight win here for Easy Clap.
Yeah, just really disjointed there. As the Heron's popping a super deep rocket round, he's gonna pretty much just toss his load into a Reinhardt shield. They barely get the Rein though, so they do force the stagger, but not sure that's all they wanted with that ult. As they're playing this deep, No Wonder is toying around in the back line. He's got the pulse bomb.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of target he's looking for with that. Does he know T-Mic has that sound barrier up? Maybe goes for the Crystallize here, but the barrier... Ooh, there it is. Fakes out the Lucio. So one support down in the D-Mech right away for Tide Pod. Easy Clap, they're playing this fast and loose.
Yeah, they played that one out super well. They lured TPC into their trap and then just totally collapsed on them. No Wonder breaks that fight up before it even starts with a good pulse bomb.
Yeah, and because of the nature of their competition, they can play this one outside of the point and sort of tag them as they come through that choke. And yeah, that Pharmacy is just going to keep reigning supreme.
Yeah, there hasn't been much of an answer. It hasn't looked like BOL has been able to get too much pressure onto the Pharmacy. He's fairly close to his tactical visor, so that to me is the ult to watch as we head to this next fight. As long as no one gets picked early. UTech dropping the self-destruct, gonna try to get picked, and he actually finds them out in the open. 3 members of the Tide Pod Challengers are dead. Only Albino Joe's down.
T-Mic runs back through Easy Clap there. He's like, yep, I'm out of here. Batmel looking for the suicide there, and she will go down. So it's getting close, and I think this is probably going to be the last team fight coming in.
Yeah, 100%, and a lot of ults available on both teams here, so this should be a big one.
Yeah, and with the Mercy for Easy Clap and no Mercy on Tide Pod, you might think they have the advantage there with, you know, 1 or 2 reses depending on how far he spaces them out.
Alright, now Jim's going really deep. He's getting very far ahead of this team. And that's both the healers down for Easy Clap already. Now T-Mic's following up with the sound barrier. There is a lot of effective help on this point for the Tide Pod Challengers as they just walk out and take the point.
Yeah, that's going to be it. Heron really the only one left flying around, and he's going to get swatted out of the sky finally, and in the overtime, Tide Pod takes the first map, and maybe not. Albino Joe got back with the Valkyrie, but not fast enough. You really needed to pop that Valkyrie a little proactively. You'll probably start seeing Mercies do that a lot more. A Valkyrie in itself is just a huge healing boost and damage boost because of, you know, the chain effect that it adds to the team fight. So going down there right away spelled the loss for Easy Clap.
Yeah, that's something I've been telling people for the past few weeks. Ever since we saw the details of the Mercy nerfs on the PTI, is that this ult was already something that I felt a lot of people didn't use very proactively, and it could be very effective. You know, you could have a huge Valkyrie without needing the double res. Now, that is the only way to play it.
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
And so we're going to see pretty much the pick-for-pick exact same comps coming out of both of these teams. I mean, it was 99 to 100, so maybe not too shocking, as we got to watch out. Tide Pod Challengers are playing on the bridge here, as Heron will not quite get a proof off. So point control established early by the TPC, but these flank tanks are going in deep right now. They've already taken out BOL as Sexy.
Yeah, that clutch sleep on the shooter dive there stops his normal engage pattern, but now it's just pure mayhem on this point. Jim's gonna pick up the first one on the No Wonder, which is huge. Well, now one of the main tanks, shooter dive, going down for Easy Clap. And there goes Albino Joe. So once again, Tide Pod, they are just so clean and organized. They stick together and they get to that point first.
Yeah, much. Things go off for the Tide Pod Challengers when they don't have to switch picks a lot, and so far they haven't done that a single time.
Yeah,
and so they know how to just get on the points and then play their fight from there.
Oh, hook onto UTech, but he'll be able to fly out of there. And hook resets, we haven't seen him on really a DPS character yet. He's been perma on this hog, which seems to be working incredibly well. But Heron with the boop, the fat guy goes down, and that's a good start for Easy Clap.
As we see another pretty split fight. Oh, T-Mic gonna get denied the sound barrier. That's both the healers down early for the Tide Pod Challengers. Although it is gonna be a 2-for-2 trade pretty fast, as now the tank line is going down for Tide Pod Challengers. It's looking good for Easy Clap, although they haven't given up some casualties of their own. Diva Bomb just going to be a zoning ult, but this should be a point capture. Easy Clap, you might want to step on that point at some point.
Oh, do they?
Oh! I think No Wonder backed onto the point, and he heard it start ticking. He's like, oh shit, guys, we got to cap this still.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
So they maybe give up an extra 10 or 15%. They didn't need to there. Not ideal, but not the end of the world, as there is a fast regroup coming. Hook Resets is looking for a flank here, but No Wonder picks T-Mic out of the police lineup.
There it is, that Hook Reset flank, but I mean his team went down as they went through White Room there with the Lucio speed boost. No Wonder going off big with the 2 frags of his own, and yeah, Hook just has to back out. Easy Clap maintains the point.
Not a great ult on a Cal there, as he's being chased down right now. He might be in some danger. Easy Clap is going to push this all the way up to the gate, as Hook is going to miss the hook.
Yeah, but a little calculated aggression. It looks smart there, so they back off appropriately, and using the same route, they're gonna go through White Room here for Tide Pod. Very effective with that Rhine Shield in front.
Yeah, and they don't want to fuck with the Pharah on the bridge. As a nice hook comes down, they pick No Wonder out.
Nice.
So no full spawn picks happening this fight. Although they do have Utek's debuff in their ass right now.
Oh, okay. There's the boot power, Mighty Wolf. Showing T-Mic what he can do on this Lucio here. Self-destruct onto the point, and it actually picks up both supports for Tide Pod.
Oh, disaster for Tide Pod, just not paying attention in a fight that might have been close. As Utek is... I don't know what he was going for with that self-destruct, but...
It works.
It worked. They still have the point.
Yeah, sometimes you just toss it out. See what happens.
They still have the point that I'm not even playing in this game. What can I know?
Yeah,
so we've got the last fight coming through for the Tide Pod Challengers. Once again, going through that good old White Room. They do have a few ults available. They're going to have to make sure to pop them early because they've been getting picked at the start of all of these fights. His BOL XD is going for a deep flank.
Oh, wow, yeah, that
pop it
BOL
out.
sexy. Patience. He just waited and waited until his team engaged in the point. That Nano Visor through the enemy team's backline. He takes out Mercy to start this one off. A good read from Tide Pod. They're going to take the point back.
Yeah, I love that play out of Tide Pod.
Oh, no wonder he's doing the salt, but yeah, eventually we'll go down there. 99% though on the board for Easy Clap.
Yeah, it did take all their ults to get it, and the only one they're at all close to is Hook Resets on that whole hog, while there are a bunch of ults north of 70 on the side of Easy Clap, including a Monkey ult available, as they're coming straight over this bridge, trying to get some Pharmacy poke out as this Diva is going deep. Crystallized maybe caught out here, and he is going to go down. That's not a good pick. As they lose T-Mic as well, that's both their healers. Oh, this is a disaster for GPC.
Yeah, Albino Joe, there is the Valkyrie that we wanted to see in the first map, and yeah, it's going to be an easy team fight win. Both supports just going down right away for Tide Pod. You can't really allow that to happen with no mercy in the game.
Yeah, this is just really... Crystallized and T-Mic have not had great positioning this entire map. It's like they haven't played against an Elite Tracer before, almost.
Yeah. Yeah, really in the wrong place at the wrong time here, and yeah, Saltax is really just coming out. The 2 tanks, Batman and Jim, just swinging and clicking, and they're gonna go down. Rocket Barrage over the top. Easy Clap, just a methodical closeout here. Oh, Crystal's actually switching to the Moira. I assume maybe just using that shift ability to get there a little bit faster. But...
Yeah, that was just a reset pick. But maybe a pick that would be good for Tide Pod Challengers. Moira is very effective with the triple tank.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm excited to see a lot of Moira too. Triple tank, even quad tank is becoming the suggested new meta at the high levels of play. And on the control center here, there's some good areas you can work with.
And remember, you all asked for this.
Hey man, I mean, okay, the orb's a little annoying, but it's not, you know.
Well, Moira's great. I love Moira, but
yeah.
I don't love 4 tanks.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's we'll see how that plays out.
But maybe not this round, as we're going to see big change-ups from both of these teams. Hook Reset's going over to the Genji, so only a double DPS with Crystallized back to the Mercy. T-Mix on Zenyatta now. Meanwhile, we've got Heron switching over to Junkrat, Utek, Zarya, Mighty Wolf, Zenyatta. No Wonder, Roadhog. Man, that's a drastic change-up for Easy Clap. I've never seen No Wonder tank this season.
Yeah, triple tank with the Mercy Zen here, and the hook comes in onto Jim. He is able to get out of there though, and the Mighty Wolf, though, he's gonna pick up that first kill.
Yeah, good start. Shooter Die also back on his beloved Reinhardt. This fight is going very, very well for Easy Clap. Oh, Well, they do get the res on a Teemic, but I think he just resed his boy to die there.
Yep, it looks like it in Tidepod. They're on full retreat here as the point goes over. Utek fairly charged there. It will do a lot of damage. He's on fire. He almost has that Graviton, so surely we'll see that come out next fight.
Joe also already has the Valkyrie, so he's gonna have a lot of opportunities here. A lot of obvious places where you can preempt the fight if you're defending the points here on Control Tower, as they are TPC marching in behind the Rhine Shield. This is good. 2 Rhine Shields staring at each other.
Yep, Hooker says he goes over to that Reaper, so good switch there to identify the beefy triple tank out of Easy Clap, but looks like he's trying to play on the sideline, maybe going up against this Junkrat, which can be a pretty tricky matchup here. And
there's a support ult stack coming out with a tire going through, and that tire's getting under this thing. Like, his ball is sexy, as there's not a whole lot of value coming out of these support ults. But I could be wrong, as now the picks are coming, now the health bars are full enough, and this is going to be a big team fight win for these guys.
Oh, Hooker says trying to teleport out of there. Yeah, not going to be enough. But yeah, they pop everything there for Easy Clap.
It is worth noting, though, Hook resets just 1 fight as the Reaper already has a Death Blossom available, and this will be the last fight for Tidepod Challengers. So keep an eye on him. There's 4 ults available for the Challengers here. Yeah. Just a Reinhardt ult available for Easy Clap.
But I mean, the Reinhardt, this shooter die ultimate, this could determine everything here. If Jim doesn't block this, and
but Jim gets his first, and it's a huge one. Popping his Zenyatta ult just out of panic, it looks like, but it probably won't matter as Hook resets gets a big Death Blossom on the back end of this fight. They are capturing this point, and it's gonna flip over to Tidepod Challengers as Lijiang Tower does not end yet.
Yeah, so good, great shatter. That's what their Tidepod really needed there from Jim, and Hooker says he was already coming in on that flank. Easy Death Blossom for him. But now that ult economy might be switching back over to Easy Clap. I mean, Shooter still has that Earth Shatter. Batmill, the only one with the ult. The ball sexy, he's already back to that Visor.
Yeah, and also worth noting, Albino Joe did swap over from Mars. We have our first of the series as Hook resets is going to get hooked. Has to shift away. The ball is sexy, gets picked from long range by the Zenyatta. Jim goes down as well. Not good for the Challengers. They do take out the shooter die though, so it's going to be a hard push in, but they have no tanks available to defend this point with. As Hook resets is running for his life. Graviton gonna get the healers. Oh, this is gonna be it. Is that tire? There's no Challengers around to fight, so it's going deep.
Yeah, it looks like the easy grab into tire combo, but they were already dead. Where do you go with the tire? Find the next guy, and they surely do. Easy Clap with the easy close out. Maybe
Easy
not.
Clap, maybe not watching every angle here as they let the Tidepod Challenge out of the points. They're probably won't matter. I'm probably getting excited for nothing here, as there is a Valkyrie in the air. He's shifting around, but it's a lot slower than it used to, although he's buying a lot of time, and now Teemic has the Transcendence. There is a lot of time blocked. They've got their first pick. They got their second. There's no way! No way! They retake the point! They now Tidepod Challengers have man advantage. Are you kidding me?
Utek the only remaining member for Easy Clap, and he finally goes down to both DPS ults there. Visor and the Death Blossom take it back.
When you push to the enemy spawn, you have to watch every entrance, and Easy Clap did not do that.
Good choice.
Wow, and they used everything there. I mean, like the Graviton onto the supports in the open, like the tire was over the top. Like they knew they had the win there.
Yeah, and now ult economy looking like it's slightly favoring the Tidepod Challengers. It's bad for both teams though. Reinhardt available, and Jim's gonna take the first one he sees. Oh, Tidepod Challengers.
So bad. And then, oh my god, Hook and Resex Ball is sexy. They are just lighting up this kill feed every fight now. They're on point. They're staying alive. That's the important part.
Jim has been so on point. I feel like he's been ramping up every week, and this is looking like his best week yet. Just yeah. He knows those Reinhardt ults, even when nothing else is working.
That is so true. He really does find the shatters that really shouldn't be there.
Yeah, no hesitation out of him either, as now we have the last fight available. Watch for Utek. He's looking for a big Graviton on this flank. He does not want to get Diva blocked, as a lot of the Challengers are kind of stacking up. Albino Joe goes down early, but so does Hook. But there are no healers available for Easy Clap. Utek is going to have to come up huge here. Is this tire for somebody, but it's going to get shifted by the Reaper. Graviton, only thing they take, but there comes Teemic with the Transcendence. This is looking great for the Tidepod Challengers. They now just need to take out the Zarya, and the Disaster Hold does cost Easy Clap this match.
Wow, that that last fight, Tide Pod, they used their ultimates perfectly. Like they held the trance for the Graviton, the proactive Valkyrie. I mean, even just shifting the tire from hook resets is huge. He's gonna get to play the game. Maybe, you know, he says himself in the pregame show he hasn't shown up this season. This might be it.
Yeah, first fight on the Reaper. No, maybe not the first fights, but immediately after our ults, he's gonna just fire into Jim's hard work there, and that's a lot of damage.
Yeah. Oh, but surprisingly, Tide Pod only getting the one card. But T-Mech doing his job on Lucio. Pretty stellar play out of him as well. But I guess really just on the whole, the Tide Pod support's really out of position in those early maps on Li Jiang.
Yeah, and you know, I was saying earlier this week, we don't know if Tide Pod challenges if they've just been playing poorly in the first 2 weeks, or their record is kind of they played the top 2 teams. You know, they played the 2-2-0 teams. Maybe they were a lot better than we thought they were. And obviously that was a very close map, so we can't draw any, you know, major conclusions just yet. But
Yeah.
Definitely a confidence booster for the Tide Pod challengers to come in here with a win when they hadn't in a while. And maybe things are starting to get kind of nervous for Easy Clap. You know, they ran from the Overwatch team in the first week, and they haven't won a map since.
Wow, yeah. I mean, things were looking really good. I mean, a lot of people before the season started, this roster looked incredibly good. No wonder, star Tracer player, and you have the synergy with Shooter, Die, Albino Joe, and UTech coming in from last season. Heron showing up big, and Mighty Wolf, he's along for the ride, but he's doing his job. It's surprisingly a lot of random Zen picks there in that last map.
And apparently we might need to increase the stream delay.
Possibly. I guess we'll wait for the confirmation from
We'll double
Zed, I
check
guess.
the confirmation. Well, I guess while we have a moment, you want to talk about the death of the Koreans?
Oh, yeah, sure, dude.
It's incredible. I've waited my entire life to see Western esports become number one. And I've also waited my entire life to see American esports become number one. And in this past week, we took major steps towards both.
Yeah, it's super exciting to not see, like, you know, those 3 Korean teams just like take the top of the table all the way to the playoffs. Like, they are looking contested, and I feel like after last week, they got really scared, and now they went into like super hardcore training mode, like time chamber, you know, whatever Dragon Ball Z shit. I'm actually now even more scared of like the Dynasty and Excelsior.
Oh, absolutely. Korean teams always react well to a loss.
Yeah, they studied the footage really well. They can learn from other matches so much more than Western teams, it appears. Cool. I think we're all set. We're just getting some readies from the teams. So we're going into Route 66. I mean, I guess the order of the maps on the schedule, not indicative of the true order. We started with Control first.
When did you look at the schedule?
I'm looking at it right now. Junkertown, Route 66, Li Jiang.
What are you... What?
Is it Google Sheet?
Yeah, let me pull that up, because I looked at it this morning.
Wait.
And I thought I saw the order that we've been playing.
No.
Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe the Google Sheet wasn't updated. I was going off the announcements in Discord, which maybe is different. Sorry, folks, if this was run by myself or 30, we would never let this happen. But Zedicus, you know, not my commissioner.
Yeah, the Discord order is different. Okay, so I mean, but that was talked about between the production crew and
Yeah. Minor thing to anyone that maybe wasn't aware, we have taken after the Overwatch League. We did reorder some of the map orders over the course of the season. We will always end with either King of the Hill or Assaults. Sorry, Escort. We'll end with King of the Hill or Payload.
Right, yeah.
So that we can never end a match with a draw. That's what I'm getting at here.
Yep.
So,
We're always ready. Hook resets. Don't even worry about us.
all right, we're in. 4 out of 10 stall there, 30. We tried. We've had better. We'll have to VOD review our stall game for next week.
Yeah.
But we won't have to stall any longer as we're heading on to Route 66. Man, what an awesome week of maps.
Yeah. This is the best week by far.
By a mile. These are 3 of my. If I had to pick my 5 favorite maps in Overwatch, these 3 might all make it.
Oh wow, yeah. See, Junkertown is. I feel like very, obviously a lot of when maps come out in Overwatch, everyone always seemingly hates them. I mean, Horizon's still
I
shit,
feel like
but
Junkertown was pretty well liked from day one, at least in my circles.
Well, I think people were just against the cheesiness out of like Pirate Ship, with Bastion, but I embraced it. I think it's really fun. It's super different.
It's a map that had the most strategic diversity, or maybe strategic difference compared to the entire rest of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's refreshing to see. And I mean, the big openness of .1 is pretty fun to play with. A lot of different variations you can run. Widowmaker is like almost a staple pick on that map, which is always fun to see. But I don't know. We've seen Widow play so far in the BOL. It's not Fleta. It's not Carpe.
What are you saying about Dano 22?
I'm saying he's a pretty good soldier. 76.
Hey, Dano, you're my boy, and that Zenyatta right click I got on you the second you picked Widow last week can stay between you and me. But what can be shared with everybody else are these picks as we see 3-tank coming back out of the Tide Pod Challengers here. So they're going for the dive tank 3-tank comp. You're on defense, so not the easiest composition to execute here on defense. I'm actually really surprised not to see Jim on his Reinhardt here, as this is a situation where he normally loves it. But we're seeing some same old coming out Easy Clap, going up with the Pharmacy again as Jim's kind of watching that high grounds.
Yeah,
BOL's actually going to have a lot of work he's got to do. As Hook Reset's going to take out No Wonder early. This is big.
Wow, yeah, no wonder he's going for that deep flank, but Hook reads it really well and takes him out to start this one off. Payload's pushing here. Maybe the contest is going to start coming in for Tide Pod, and here it is. Hook getting another hook onto the Pharah, but not able to take it down that perma pocket from Albino Joe and T-Mic, though. He's going to pick up the second kill for Tide Pod.
Yeah, now Bino Joe gets caught with his pants down, going for a res on the cart there. As Utech has already got a self-destruct, but he blocked by the Winston bubble. This Pharah still putting down the 3 damage, and now he's finally tossing out a rocket barrage. He's gonna pick up 3, goes down, but it's not gonna matter.
Wow, yeah, those spare rockets coming out at the end. Even after he was dead, really, they still fly through the air and take out 3 people with the barrage. It's full team kill for Easy Clap.
Hook resets did waste a whole hog, dying almost immediately there in the basement of Big Earls. So that's going to be a first point, as Tide Pod Challengers contested that pretty late for 3-tank, I feel.
Yeah, and it's just a very odd 3-tank, right? I mean, it's like the dive tanks Winston Diva, just with like a Roadhog thrown in the mix. Sure, that might be like a counter pick to No Wonder's Tracer to try to take him out a little bit more Tracer counter there, but right so far, not convinced.
It's so low on the DPS as well, with Winston and Diva being 2 of your tanks.
But we do have some good ultimates here for Tide Pod. Nino Visor is up and ready. T-Mic has that Transcendence too.
Oh, how did Jim get out of that alive? Oh, no wonder! Oh, no! He sticks the healers! I thought he whipped it there out of the corner of my eye, but he did not whip it.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. I mean, when you pulse bomb both supports like that, it's an Easy Clap. And Easy Clap looking for the easy team fight win here. But the Primal Rage from Jim, maybe just a stall tactic here as he finally goes down. And Easy Clap, there looks like they're just going to push on through to point 2.
Yeah, there's a nice push here. Heron and the Monkey watching this high entrance here. They're not going to let Tide Pod Challengers onto this payload without a fight. And Easy Clap did not have to commit much to win that fight, just a Valkyrie.
Yeah, now their ult economy is looking really good.
No,
tied up or maybe even better.
They popped a pulse bomb in that fight. They got it back already.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's super fast. No wonder he's playing aggressive. He's playing up there. He's looking for those stagger kills. Or just really that stagger ult charge.
He saw everything I had to say about him this week. He said, 5th best player in the league. Go fuck yourself, AJ. And I'm about to.
But finally, Tide Pod maybe getting a much-needed first pick there as they take out Heron in the skies. And now Jim rotating over to that Reinhardt, which is so incredibly good in this hangar phase that round out Route 66.
Yeah, he's playing this one super deep, like he likes to play it. Pulse bomb coming out of no one, but not going to get a kill this time, as Jim is kind of establishing himself on the cart as his team gets the few picks remaining in the backline. Jim ends up being a little too deep from his team there, and he's going to go down, so this is going to be tough to hold. By the way, Hook Resets has swapped off the Roadhog onto the Genji, and he's getting close to a Dragon Blade.
Yeah, oh, no wonder he is deep. He's behind the semi-truck, and now he's going to jump down, going for that backline, and he does the critical kill onto BOL of Sexy. An easy clap. They initiate the dive. Delta Truck comes in onto the point, clears everything out. Heron getting up a double kill. Easy clap. They're just uncontested.
Yeah, that was just a super split fight from the Tide Pod Challengers, and they lost it on every single front. They will hopefully be able to get a contest here. As Dragon Blade coming out of Hook Resets, but it's going to be tranked by the Mighty Wolf here, so he's not going to find anything.
Oh, and there it is. Now, both teams had a bunch of ultimates. I mean, 5 on board for Tide Pod, and they just they blew everything.
For Tide Pod. That was a nice attack by Zer. A lot of damage coming out. They just have to pick up the monkey. So Shooter Guy finally goes down, and that was almost everything blown from Easy Clap as well. So pretty much a full reset here. Each team has 1 ult available going into this next fight.
Yeah, Patmel.
Yeah, she's
switched over to the May. Yeah,
staying on it too. It looks like
it's you know, surprisingly pretty effective here at this last point. There's a lot of like walls you can sort of just duck in and out of, and obviously Blizzard on any kind of situation like this is going to be incredibly strong.
Crystallize gets picked super early. Now it's just the Zenyatta able to heal, and there's 3 DPS on this team. This could be tough for Tide Pod Challenges. This Hook Resets goes down so fast as well. Heron just raining from the sky. This is not good for TPC. As they have lost just about everyone here, and I think this is going to come to an end. Crystallize has swapped to a Moira, but he can't push through that Rocket Barrage. 248 remaining. We're going to see this payload push to the end of the map.
Yeah, so I think just a really stellar offense out of Easy Clap there. I mean, there was a few holds from Tide Pod here and there, but the team fight wins that they got, especially at the end there. They had to blow like 5 ultimates alone. It's just a matter that they keep getting picked early on.
Yeah, and I don't like the way they played that composition at all. I think that was a composition, especially at the start, just begging to get picked off, and it didn't work.
No, it did not. And
I want to see something a lot more traditional out of these guys here on attack, and I think they will, judging what they're hovering.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what Batmil's hero pool looks like. They've been running a lot of Ryan Diva as their main line here, with the Reinhardt in the composition. Usually Reinhardt Zarya comps, very strong. Obviously, you can sort of bubble that Reinhardt as he goes in for the swings. And then obviously Graviton or Shatters, both huge CC ultimates. You can chain them together or play them separately. Might be really useful here, but I don't blame her for playing it. This Heron, he's on Pharah all the time.
Yeah, I think that could be a big part of it. And also with Jim on the Reinhardt, it's so tough to play without any mobility from your tank line. I know a lot of teams like to just default to always having one of those two. Been the Diva for most of the teams in this league. Probably, in my opinion, easier to execute on than the Winston is.
Yeah, and she's so incredibly strong. I mean, she's really good in every composition, like literally ever.
Yeah, remember when they killed Diva?
Yeah, and then they switched her and made her an assassin.
Yeah. Well, we're maybe seeing some drastic change-ups here on the Tide Pod Challenges, as they are going all in with the troll comp.
What?
A big old boat coming with Jim on the Bastion. Look at that golden Bastion gun. He spent 3,000 competitive points on that. How are you going to fuck with that? Hook Resets playing the Reinhardt, Batmel playing the Orisa.
Wow, this is some super cheese. A double shield pirate ship here. Wait, and Teamic? I mean, Teamic's on Bastion.
Double
so
shield,
they have like
double
a
cannon. Yeah, but Easy Clap is jumping on this point. They've already taken out the Bastion. They've already taken out the turret. There are no cannons left on this pirate ship.
Reds has come over both teams, and this kill feed is alternating colors here. Surprisingly still up, but I think the defense is going to hold strong here as Tide Pod, they're routed back.
Disaster for Tide Pod is they have to swap off these picks, and they have to do it now. And they have not. They are going to try to reestablish it. Okay, now Teamic is switching, but they're still going to try to reestablish with... No, there we go.
Okay, there it is.
Just took them a second to
switch.
figure out their picks. So we see much more traditional TPC comp coming on. Hook resets over to the Genji.
I mean, I don't know what universe they think that double shield, double turret thing's gonna
They
work.
had the setup. They were just jumped.
Yeah.
Jumped and fucked on point. And they're getting jumped and fucked again as Shida and UTech going deep. They get Teamic super fast in this fight. Jim's looking for a pin, but he's only going to find a payload. As they have to pop a res onto Teamic, but they lose Ball is Sexy. That's an ultimate off the table for Type of Challenges. Heron once again gets the rocket barrage. Only gets one before going down. As Albino Joe comes down, he immediately dies. This might actually be alright for Top 5 Challengers, but they're getting split. They've lost both of their healers. As Bad is doing everything she can to play the slow on the cut. She's now getting joined by hook resets. As Technobine's being popped deep by Ball is Sexy. Gonna take the Mighty Wolf right off of Big Girls.
Yep. Ball Sexy's visor will clear the people away from the point at the very least, and Tide Pod, they're getting some traction. Finally trying to round this corner here on Route 66. No wonder in the backline, UTech is going to go down. So maybe Tide Pod getting things together.
Yes, a nice clean reestablish on the cart on top of challenges. They got to make sure to keep actual bodies on this cart. They need all of the ground they can cover. They keep only having one eye, but hook resets. The Dragon becomes him. He's jumping in deep here. He finds too fast. Tranquility maybe a little too late out into Mighty Wolf there as he somehow lost 3 to the Dragon Blade.
Yeah, the Pharmacy become members of the Weep Hut. Hook resets, getting some vital kills on that Dragon Blade, but look at this. Tide Pod with a bunch of ultimates. Looking really good as they come into point 2 of Route 66 here, but take that back. The DMAC is going to be the first casualty of the fight. Hook resets going to answer it back, and now Crystallize going down for Tide Pod. UTech with another cheesy self-destruct, not going to pick anything up with the shield in front.
I wonder does find Teamic to end things, but it's looking like they're going to get to push this cut anyways, even though they lost the fight just because of how close they are to their spawn.
Yep.
By the way, Ball is Sexy must not have been feeling the Soldiers. He has swapped over to the McCree, so maybe think he's going to have a better chance of answering this Pharmacy.
Yeah, maybe looking for No Wonder as well in that backline as he plays so incredibly aggressive. He gets discorded and dashed out of the game. Hook reset.
That's a huge pick. As now Hook Resets is playing with balls full of balls here, up on top of the hut, looking for anyone he can get his little blade on.
UTech, he's diving in on that backline. He's really playing aggressive, not really matrixing his team. He's just going towards that backline. He's been able to take out the supports with a fairly decent success, so him and No Wonder are the dive buddies here. Tide Pod, they're sticking together on the payload. Bat Shatter, possibly, but the Mighty Wolf with the Transcendence. See what he can do for his team, and it's going to be huge, actually.
Teamic,
everyone back up.
Oh, no, that was so bad. Oh, Teamic, your entire team was dead, and then he also didn't have the awareness to go jump off a cliff with it.
Rough. Yeah, but I mean,
Rough
only
indeed.
one expended. I think that was obviously a mistake.
Yes, maybe it was even a fat finger there. But Jim kind of wasted his Reinhardt ult as well. He had already lost 3 teammates, and they didn't really look close to securing any kills. So that's 2 huge ults off the table. They do have the other 4 available going into this next fight, though, but there's going to be a lot of ults available here in a moment for Easy Clap as well. So this should be another big fight as UTech trying to play this one out deep. And now Albino Joe's popping the Valkyrie. Teamic is already down. Jim down as well as the Dragon becomes hook resets, looking for something big. He finds UTech, but they need more than just the Diva. But now Small is Sexy going down. Crystallize gets a res onto Jim. This is still a big man advantage for Easy Clap. As Heron's popping the rocket barrage, he's going to pick off the Stranglers.
Yeah, I mean, Easy Clap, a lot of these fights, they're getting the picks without ultimate usage. And Tide Pod thinking that they could answer that one back. They had a lot in the bank and they expend a lot, but they don't get anything.
Yeah, and the toughest part here for Tide Pod Challengers is it seems like they go to these guys like, alright guys, this is it. This is the fight. We've got the ults. We have to fight. And then they get picked, and they don't know how to change the plan.
Yeah, you gotta lose gracefully. You use ults to win the fight, you don't use ults to save the fight. I mean, obviously, unless it's a defensive ultimate, but those have not been on point. Obviously, Fat Finger from a teammate possibly earlier in this game, and it's only 54 seconds left on the clock for the offense.
Yeah, it's pretty much a guarantee if they somehow manage to push this to the end, they're already going to lose on time bank, and that's still a big if as they lose 3 fast here. They have to reset this fight fast because they only have one fight remaining, and they are not resetting very fast right now.
Yeah, Jim actually, he jumped off really preemptively there. He knew the fight was lost, so good awareness out of him. Ball Sexy's able to escape.
Hook resets, was he something different for that fight? Because he just swapped back to Genji. Ooh, Ball Sexy gets sniped from downtown by Herod. This could be an ugly, ugly end. They do lose, no wonder though, but the tanks from Easy Clap are content to play this all the way in the opposing backline. They find Sexy and Crystallize. No, they don't find Sexy. Sexy gets Sexy gets a dead eye and he gets two with it. And now with Transcendence is pushing towards this cart. And all of Easy Clap are down. They just have a baby diva playing this, sorry, a remacking diva playing this pretty far out. No Wonder's looking for plays on the flanks as well.
No!
As UTech gets Ball Sexy in the back, and now he's on this cart 1v3. Loses the mech fast, but he's buying a lot of time. His team is getting close to this cart, and I think they're going to try to contest this overtime. They're going to try to end here as the Valkyrie's coming out of Albino Joe. No pressure on him up in the sky right now. As Herod is rocket barraging, finds one, but it's only one. As a Tranquility comes out into Mighty Wolf throwing all this fire. No healers for the Tide Pod challengers.
Yeah, it's looking rough. They slowly are getting picked away here. Crystallize went down. He wasn't able to get that Valkyrie up. And Hook resets, uses the Dragon Blade, takes out Albino Joe. I mean, it's there's still two on the point for Tide Pod here. Self-Destruct's gonna maybe push them away, maybe long enough for the overtime takedown, but no, Batmail just crouches behind.
Yeah, but their teammates here, these healers are speeding onto the cart, but Lucio swap out of Crystallize, got him and Teemic onto this cart, and there is a Reinhardt as well, swinging that golden hammer away, and they actually have a man advantage now, but Teamic's gonna go down. And sorry, I'm wrong, they do not have a man advantage, but there are a lot of small health bars on the sides of Easy Clap here, but I think they have the respawns getting in fast enough. As Hook Resets is trying to jump in on this flank, no Dragon Blade, I don't think he's bringing anyone to the Weep Hut this time.
No. Oh, man, some good stalling out of Tide Pod there, but Easy Clap, they have the very, very short spawn there at second point, Route 66, and they're gonna take this map.
Yeah, play of the game going to be UTech here, closing out the attack round for Easy Clap as this was one of his better fights on the device. He just chucked that ult on in, and no one was able to find. Oh, sorry, they were already dead.
Yeah, but yeah, finishing off Crystallize there, not too bad. So my ability stopped working for like 10 and they all went at once.
I would probably upgrade your graphics card.
or your keyboard. I don't know what user input is going on there for Teamic, but Easy Clap looking incredibly dominant with their pharmacy dive on Route 66.
Yeah, and heading over to Junkertown, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Easy Clap doing the same thing.
See, now the Bastion makes a lot of sense, as we were talking about, alluding to earlier. For Tide Pod, I can imagine they might switch back to that gym is that Golden Gun Bastion.
Yeah, and as you all are very aware, no one buys a golden gun unless they are very confident on that champ.
Right, yes.
You think we're going to see some of the double snipers here?
I
mean, we've got a Hanzo player and a Widow player in this game. They might not be on the same team, but I'll settle for just seeing one of the snipers at a time.
Ooh, who's the Hanzo extraordinaire?
Ball is Sexy.
Oh, of course, Flex Master Ball is Sexy.
How could you forget?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I could just assume he plays the whole hero roster at this point.
He's very good on this map. This is I feel like the number of games where we've been bailed out on our comp team with Sexy finding huge plays, whether it was on a DPS or on his Roadhog here on Junkertown, this just seems to be a map that was built around his hero pool.
Well, that's a good sign for Tide Pod going into this, as they're coming off the map loss, and going into this third map, it's really anyone's match, 1-1, and no draws possible. So we'll see who wins.
Yeah, they're gonna need a big map out of him. I think that Route 66 was maybe his quietest map of the season. Just didn't feel like he could quite do it, and maybe Tide Pod challenges were asking a little too much of him. They kind of were playing like he was going to single-handedly shut down a pharmacy on a single hit scan. That doesn't happen.
No, and I guess that's a good point you bring up. There wasn't a lot of countering the pharmacy. They had a lot of other ideas. It seemed like No Wonder might have been a focus for some counter picks in the hero pool, but yeah, no double hit scan. The Zen didn't really seem to be discording them too much, possibly. Yeah, I could have seen a little bit more for how dominant that pharmacy might have been.
Yeah, because there were definitely weaknesses with Easy Clap's game there. I had not been impressed with UTEC's D.Va, to be honest. It's looked like a super budgeted version of his Winston, like the kind of store brands. You know, you get the box and you're like, hey, this is gonna be the same, and you eat it. It's not the same.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. But he is playing it super aggressively, like he would have Winston, and that can work. I just don't think his mechanical ability is there yet on the D.Va.
And they are not gonna stop playing this super aggressively as they set up just to the left of this spawn door. Oh, Tide Pod challengers, be careful. Or, sorry, Easy Clap. No, yeah, I got this. Tide Pod challengers, be careful. Those are the enemies.
Oh, but they feel like they might have read this or heard it or something. They put the Orisa shield up right away, and they're pushing the payload. So
already made some swaps as well. Hook resets just swapped over to a D.Va as soon as he saw that enemy composition. So some good ground gain, and now we're gonna have a ground level contest here out of both teams as these Orisa shields are being melted. A lot of new picks in this map.
And no one has died yet. Both teams really using their healers to keep everyone alive. No wonder he's on that bridge and he gets the headshot to Crystallize right out in the middle of the open, but gets answered back for T-Mech. Jim,
I have no idea.
he must have right-clicked the ground or a wall or something and killed himself there. Unfortunately,
I didn't even know Zarya could damage herself, but it cost Jim his life there. Apparently, is No Wonder gets res in the middle of this. Now he's getting the easy kills as this fight's breaking down totally.
Yeah, and this actually is pretty bad for Tidebot. Now that No Wonder can be set up with the long sight line on Widow, that is a spot I've never seen. That's pretty cool. The Hulk comes through, but she's already down, or I guess he's already down there, and Tidebot able to try to get back to the payload.
Yeah, they must not do that up in Masters, but I see that shit all the time in my quick play games.
Really? I've never ever seen that. That is pretty cool. I didn't know you could get up there, but the Whole Hog coming out from UTEC, not able to pick up a lot, but another kill from this Widow for Tidebot.
Yeah, this Widow is just getting free reign in the back of the fight here. I mean, they've got the Winston debuff. They have the Soldier even for some long-range damage onto her. They just have to actually commit to diving through everything and getting onto this Widow. And it's going to be tough because they're going to be pushing into a lot of ults this next fight.
Yeah, and really, this whole match, it seems like Easy Clap, they play like the meta game really well. They understand like which compositions on which maps are strong, or really just the default ones. Orisa Hog on Junkertown with a Junkrat and a Widow, that is as classic as you can get for a defensive hold at the very least. But here they go, now they go.
Yep. Downtown D.Va ult coming out of hook resets, finds a kill, and it turns into 3 real fast. Now Orisa being gangbanged on top of the cart here. That's 4 picks for free. 4 Tide Pod challenges, and they're gonna finally have a chance to get this cart moving.
The Junker bros, Roadhog and Junkrat, make a quick escape, and they're waiting for the team to regroup. There is another contest here for Tide Pod, and they are gonna have that high ground for No Wonder's Widow.
Yeah, and both of the dive tanks are currently playing the low ground. They are nowhere near this Widowmaker. They need to be fast on jumping her. They've already gotten a pick onto the Junkrat, and Jim is up there, kind of zoning this Widow, but not zoning her hard enough. Jim has to commit to these dives.
Yeah, I mean, No Wonder is finally going down there. Jim was really just playing Widow duty, and he does take it out. Alvaro Joe goes down as well from hook reset, so this is potentially looking pretty good for Tide Pod. It's going to be a long spawn for Easy Clap. Yeah, Jim's going to pick up a couple more kills, and it's just a methodical closeout here as UTEC goes for the stall.
Just got to take out No Wonder's Tracer, who is content to keep buying time here. Finally going to go down, so that is 0.1 captured. Tide Pod challenges 3-tank composition. Will no longer be a 3-tank composition as hook resets, goes right into his new spawn, switches back to the Genji. They got McCree coming out of Ball of Sexy.
Yeah, but once again, a little odd. It's Orisa being that main tank on the payload, but Jim, he's playing a dive tank, and I don't know if he can really go in without popping that Primal Rage. There's going to be a lot of damage from this grouped up Easy Clap team on the high ground. But actually, he goes for the side here. The purple going on to UTech, but he gets out.
Yeah, but a tire's coming out of Heron, looking for multiple. Only going to get BOL 60, but still a big important pick here. As Tide Pod Challengers can push pretty far back. Jim is off in no man's land right now. Gonna make it out. Hooker's actually finds a kill onto Heron's Junkrat before going down, but this is now 3 down for Tide Pod Challengers. They're still pushing this cart. This Batman gets hooked off the cart, and I think that's finally going to be a reset. As UTech is pushing forward with the whole hog.
Bingo.
He got the last hit on Batman, but I think they won that fight even without ulting.
Yeah, a little over hype you there from UTech's whole hog, but that's okay. They still got a couple ultimates in the bank here. Defense is looking strong on this high ground, and Tide Pod, they got to figure out what they can do here. And there it is, Jim jumping in, but he gets hooked immediately, like I said, and he gets taken out. No dive buddies, no healers to really heal him.
Yeah, BOL 60 though does find a pick on here in Junkrat, gonna force the res out of Albino Joe.
Oh!
As I no wonder with a huge pulse bomb in the back of the fight.
Yep, that's a reset. Get out of there, Tide Pod, and oh, clutch shield blocks the hook.
Yeah, now this timer is ticking away fast here for Tide Pod Challengers. Probably 2 fights remaining in this map.
Yeah, it's a relatively it's an okay spawn distance. They can get back relatively fast, but if they keep pushing the payload, then it's gonna get pretty risky as we're approaching the 1 minute mark. But
yeah,
the pick's still coming through.
They're wasting one of their 2 remaining fights here. Maybe they'll get the overtime push if things time out well, but it's gonna be an awkward setup given the time remaining. And they just don't have an answer. As Jim switching over to the D.Va, as UTech able to push him down, gets that pick. So not a traditional Jim pick.
But they obviously think they need it against this Junkrat. Try to block some of the spam that's coming in on these small corridor entrances for Tide Pod. But it's a matter of who can really get up there with him and help him out. Hooker says he's on this Genji with this Dragon Blade, so we can expect a big one coming out from him this fight.
Oh, and they get a huge D-Mech on the Jim there, and what could be the last fight of Junket Town. Jim will not have a mech as a Dragon Blade come out immediately transcendenced.
Oh, super demoralizing kill there for Tide Pod. The triple tire for Heron 911. Where's the ambulance?
You were not prepared, he says. And he is right. A not great map from the Tide Pod Challengers, who have just not looked anywhere near as good on these payload maps as they looked on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, and I'm gonna bring up a frightening fact here. They are a team that has really not run Mercy this match, but they've won the one map type where Mercy really isn't needed. So I don't know if she's the difference maker here, but there are a lot of reses coming through from Albino Joe. I guess they were playing Mercy on Route 66, but just really not anywhere close to the Albino Joe level.
Yeah, well, Crystal Eyes must be listening to the stream 90 seconds from now as he hovers that Mercy as soon as you say so, and I agree. I think with the way that so many of these fights, Mercy is still going to be a useful pick against pick compositions where you're giving up, you're giving deaths up before the fight actually breaks out. And that's been the story of both of these payload maps for Tide Pod Challengers. Mercy will do a ton to help with that, so I am very happy to see this pick out of them.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. They really have just been fault at getting picked early, and it's by normal abilities too. They're not even making the enemy team expend ults to get them.
And it looks like Heron showing us he can win a map without communicating to his team.
Wait, in his team chat? No one on his what?
Maybe he's not one of the main communicators. I mean, there's definitely people on your team that could go an entire map without saying something you wouldn't notice. Don't lie to me.
Okay.
There are people on my team that could do it and I wouldn't notice. And that's how every team goes. There are not 6 talkers on every team. Maybe Aaron's not one of them. But it's a lot funny to imagine he's like the main shot caller, calling out who to swap and like where to flank from, and he just didn't do that for the whole map. But Easy Clap here running a super popular meta composition with the Bastion and one of the snipers here.
Yeah, they play this meta so well, and I'm a meta slave. It's so good. It's strong. It makes sense. And yeah, they're just gonna keep rolling on through this. Arise shield is just enough for Heron 91 to hold left click, and it melts the shield of Jim, and they have to retreat to the sidelines, but they're just giving up this ground.
Yeah, no wonder's getting really good pressure from the back of this fight as well. Hooker says he's looking for a flank, but he was having a hard time committing to it. this is a lot of tank health being melted for Tide Pod challenges as the Bastion is set up pretty uncontested in the back line, breaking through shields, breaking through mechs, breaking through Jim.
Yeah, breaking Jim. That's the story of this match, as they just break that Reinhardt shield so incredibly fast. No wonder with another pick onto hook resets, and now the DMAC and possibly the stagger, but no, Ball Sexy gets away from the halt. But can Tide Pod regroup for another fight?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. They do have a tire available to Ball Sexy, but Slice gets picked. Oh no!
Just run away. Oh man! And the thing is, Easy Clap was in that same exact situation. They had Roadhog and Junkrat in that first lost fight when they were on the defense. They just run away. You go to cover. Don't even be out there.
But Jim, oh, that was bad. He looked like they wanted to contest this, but I don't think they were going to get on the card in time anyways with when they were dropping. Now they have given up one of their 2 remaining fights for free. They have 5 minutes, and I think at most they can lose 1 more fight.
Yeah, and really questionable tire there from Ball Sexy. I mean, the payload isn't even moving there as it takes a short pause, and I mean the short spawn for the offense too. It's
and they are down a lot of ultimates. Just crystallized with the Valkyrie available. While there are 4 ults up for Easy Clap, including that deadly Bastion ult as they pick off Bastion early. They do get Albino Joe though. Crystallize now popping his Valkyrie. We see Easy Clap being engaged on here, but it doesn't matter. They're engaging into a Bastion, and Bastion is melting all of the Tide 5 challenges. Transcend's coming out as a Mighty Wolf just for funsies. Batman's going to remake on this cart, but she is going to need to do a lot of work on this stall here. I don't think she has the health to do it.
No. Easy Clap with the map win on Junkertown, looking incredibly dominant. They play it to the T. And I expect a Bastion play the game coming up.
Yeah, I would think so. Heron did what needs to be done, as here he comes. Look at him. Heroic
so
Bastion
cool.
coming in. That was the sweetest intro I've ever seen a Bastion have. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
And look at this. Look at this. Bastion's pointing quick adventure. Level 2, folks. You don't want to hook him. He's Bastion. And so a 2-1 match win for Easy Clap. And honestly, if it weren't for that one really bad push on Lijiang Tower, this is a 3-0 map win for Easy Clap. And we are coming out of here with nothing good to say about Tide Pod challenges. I think Easy Clap, they could be upset about how they lost that one, but it didn't cost them the match. They could be feeling very good after this win.
Yeah, they really got their stuff together. And I mean, this is the first week with control for any team. So some things to watch in the VOD, things to improve on. But yeah, Easy Clap looking still incredibly dominant, and at least in the top half of this league.
All right, that's going to do it for match 1, folks. So we will be back in a moment here as we are going to swap some production crew around. We'll have Mercy Nerf Me Daddy versus Jeff from the Overwatch team coming at you in just a moment, so stay tuned.